Hello everyone. So in this video I'm going to explain about the elements and compounds. So first we should know that a substance is categorized into pure substance and impure substance. Okay, a pure substance are those which cannot be split into simpler substances by a physical means like filtration, sublimation or distillation is a pure substance, whereas an impure substance that can be split into simpler substances by a physical means like filtration, sublimation or distillation. Okay. So student, basically pure substances that cannot be split into simpler substances by physical means like filtration, sublimation or distillation. Okay, whereas impure substance which can split into simpler substances by physical means such as filtration, sublimation and distillation. Okay, so now the pure substances are further classified into elements and compounds. So we can say that elements and compounds are the pure substance. Alright, so first example is elements. Okay, so elements are the substances which cannot be split into simpler substances by chemical means. For example, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, copper, silver, gold and so on. So they all are basically known as elements. Alright, and remember one thing, that a chemical means, okay, chemical means is a much more powerful than a physical means. All right, like filtration, sublimation and distillation. Okay, thus a substance which cannot be, okay, which cannot be split by a chemical means will not be broken down by the filtration, sublimation or distillation. Okay, now so the next thing is symbols. Okay, an element, these elements, they are represented by one letter or two letter symbols. Okay, they are represented by short forms and these short forms are known as symbols. So basically an element is represented by a one letter or two letter symbol. For example, so in one letter symbol में आप pick कर सकते हो, like hydrogen is represented by H, oxygen is represented by O, nitrogen is represented by N, whereas two letter symbol में आप pick कर सकते हो, chlorine is represented by Cl, okay, sodium is represented by Na, helium is represented by He. Alright, so the next example of pure substance is compound. And compound is a substance that can be split into simpler substances by a chemical means, whereas elements, they cannot be split into simpler substances, whereas compounds, they can be split into simpler substances by a chemical means. So कौन सी चीज़ है जो split हो सकती है? It means it is a bigger thing. Alright, so a compound is formed by the combination of two or more elements. So, a compound is formed by the combination of two or more elements such as water. Water is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen. Both are elements. So, this water is a compound which is formed by the combination of two elements, carbon dioxide, carbon and oxygen, sulfur dioxide, sulfur and oxygen. So, a compound is formed, okay, by the combination of two or more elements, and it can be split into simpler substances only by a chemical means, and not by a physical means. All right, and then आप last example भी compounds का pick कर सकते हो. Sugar means carbohydrates. So carbohydrates contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. This is glucose. All right, so glucose is also a compound. So ultimately we can say that compounds are the combination of two or more elements, okay, which are present in a fixed ratio. Means when two hydrogen atoms combine with one oxygen, then only they will form water. अगर आप इनका composition change कर दोगे तो water का formation नहीं होगा. Okay, so जितने भी elements इसमें participate कर रहे हैं, they all are in their fixed percentage. They all are having their fixed percentage. All right.